In 2026, the average 55-year-old American has a mere $185,000 saved now.
However, the target number they are told they actually need is a staggering $1.46 million. That is not just a simple financial shortfall. It represents a massive, shocking 8-to-1 retirement fund gap. But here is what nobody mentions. The Social Security Administration once built a tool, then quietly deleted it. They removed it because too many citizens used it to find an answer the system was never truly built to give them. To understand why it disappeared, we must look at 4 powerful forces converging on this exact decade of your life. This is not a story about one bad decision. It is about 4 massive systems never designed to interact at all. Social Security, your employer-sponsored savings, the complex healthcare system, and the volatile stock market. These 4 powerful forces are all colliding in the exact same narrow window, the critical years between 55 and 67. The Federal Reserve states the median American in that specific age bracket currently has about $185,000 saved up. Fidelity warns you should have 6 times your salary, closer to $390,000. Vanguard's real data shows it even lower. 3 different institutions, 3 different numbers, all pointing to the exact same uncomfortable reality today. Most hardworking people are nowhere close to where they assume they are. Financial advisors just tell you to wait. They say keep working, keep contributing, and just wait until 67. It is clean advice, but it has a major fatal flaw. That advice is built for a perfect life. It completely ignores layoffs, market crashes, or sudden health issues. Everything looked totally stable on paper right until the silent clock started running faster than savings did. Here is the first hidden fact. 56% of older workers in full-time jobs lose those jobs before choosing to retire. This is not a rare fringe outcome. It is the absolute majority outcome. Corporate layoffs and restructuring hit. Research shows more than half the people building a plan around working until 67 will never finish on their terms. Just picture it. It is a random Tuesday morning. You are 57 years old with 12 more years to invest. Suddenly, there is an HR meeting that was not on your calendar. Your account balance freezes, but time runs on. Here is exactly why this major risk stays hidden in plain sight. When someone loses a good job at 57, incomes rarely recover. Only 1 in 10 ever get back to their old salary level. Median household income after this loss drops about 42%. Your retirement plan did not actually fail because the math was wrong. It failed due to an illusion of control. The entire math equation assumed a perfect choice that was never actually yours to make in the first place today. But the sudden job loss risk is not the only clock running against you. There is a second, much quieter timer. The second clock is Social Security, and almost nobody files their claim at the mathematically optimal time today. If you wait until 70, instead of 62, your monthly check becomes roughly 76% higher for your whole life. Yet only about 4% of Americans actually wait that long to claim. The pure financial math says to delay, but the reality of a forced layoff at 57 or a serious medical diagnosis says something else entirely now. Add a sudden market crash at exactly the wrong moment. If waiting is so superior, why do people still file early?
Because the formula was never just math. It is math colliding with an aging body that simply refuses to wait long.
It collides with a market that does not cooperate. and a healthcare system running its own brutal, harsh timeline.
That is the third clock, our healthcare. Medicare coverage does not actually begin until you reach 65 today. Anyone who stops working before then must buy private health insurance at full price, draining their savings away. That often means paying around $1,100 to $1,500 every single month for just one person to stay fully insured now. A couple retiring together in their early 60s can face well over $30,000 a year before a single prescription.
You might need hundreds of thousands of dollars saved just to cover healthcare costs with reasonable confidence.
Stay with me here. This is where these three completely separate clocks finally stop being three separate stories.
The job loss, the filing date, and the massive healthcare gap suddenly start to look like one single brutal system.
They are all built to converge on the exact same fragile 5-year window of a hard-working person's entire life. Almost no mainstream retirement plan accounts for that massive convergence actually happening all at the same time. Here is the real core truth that remains buried underneath all of this confusing financial advice you hear today.
The standard retirement plan was never fundamentally broken by your bad savings habits or simple math errors alone. It is broken because it assumes you completely control your employment, the market, your health, and filing date. In reality, you control none of them completely, and they definitely do not run on the exact same schedule you do.
The world was told to just save enough. Follow the simple 4% rule, and the math takes care of itself.
But the harsh reality we face today is starkly different from those optimistic promises made by the industry now. Research shows that of all retirement portfolios that ran dry, nearly 70% failed for a completely different reason. It was not weak long-term returns, but massive market losses concentrated in the very first 5 years of retiring. These catastrophic drops happen exactly while your critical portfolio withdrawals are already fully underway today. Two distinct people can save the exact identical amount and earn the identical average return over 30 years. Yet they can end up in entirely different financial realities purely based on when the market downturn landed then. That specific timing risk is the deadly fourth clock, the sequence of returns, invisible until it is far too late. For many decades, this danger has been treated as four totally unrelated financial headlines in the daily news cycle: a major savings crisis, a social security debate, a healthcare cost story, and a simple market timing footnote now. This division is not by accident. The vast financial industry has very little real incentive to tell you the truth. They will never walk you through what happens if all four of these massive clocks hit in the exact same 5 years. The world was repeatedly told that the only real problem is just how much money you manage to save over your life. The truth is, whether your plan actually survives the exact moment more than one clock rings at the exact same time, this is definitely not a history lesson for you. Just look closely at what is happening in our economy right now. Enhanced healthcare subsidies officially expired recently, making the healthcare clock far more expensive right now. The Social Security Trust Fund is projected to hit a major shortfall soon, making the filing clock much more urgent. And after several incredibly strong years in the global stock market, the sequence of returns clock is fully primed. It is sitting exactly where it historically tends to sit, right before the financial markets get incredibly volatile. The collision of these four clocks is actively shaping the tragic financial destiny of millions of Americans today. Here is the real practical shift you must make now. Stop asking the basic question of how much you should save today. Instead, you must start asking what exactly happens if 2 or 3 of these massive clocks go off in the same years. You need to run that brutal scenario right now.
while you still control the variables you actually can fully control.
The sad truth is that most regular people will never run that critical number. But now you finally know which one it is. The Social Security Administration actually deleted a calculator because people mistook a start point for a final answer. You absolutely must not make that exact same tragic mistake with your own personal retirement plan going forward today. If this hidden financial pattern is truly worth uncovering, then you need to help us find the next major one very soon. Next time, we go deep inside the shadowy fee structure, quietly costing the average investor 6 figures over a lifetime. It is a massive drain on your wealth, and almost nobody notices the missing money until it is already entirely gone. Now, do not let the financial system quietly steal your future. Subscribe right now to uncover the absolute truth with us here.